Hello and welcome back to sportsbookreview.com. We welcome guest and sports writer Martin Green to the show. We're going to take a look at some Champions League futures here. Now, the Champions League group stage is well underway with the next set of matches taking place next week. 2 games have been played so far and there's not been too many upsets. The top 3 favourites are still up there with both Bayern Munich and Barcelona priced 4.33 to win, followed by Real Madrid priced 6.1, and then PSG priced 14, Man City priced 17. They're rounding off the top 5. Would you say this is a 3-legged horse race?
Yes, I guess so. It's hard to argue with those 3 teams standing as the 3 favourites. They look to be by far and away the most complete sides challenging for the Champions League this season. But then I would say that this is the Champions League and this features all the best teams in Europe. So there are plenty of very strong sides in there that could really spring an upset. But these 3 definitely look to be the most complete, and you'd expect each of them to get very far into the competition towards the latter stages, yes.
And is there a team that you would back right now to win, or is it probably still early stages?
If I had to back a team right now, I'd probably go for Bayern Munich. They're joint favourites with Barcelona. You saw Barcelona win the Champions League with relative ease last season, but for some reason, teams never seem to be able to defend this trophy. A team hasn't won it twice in a row since the Milan side of 1990. So for all the great teams we've seen over the past sort of 25 years, none of them have managed to retain it. So just on that, I'd rule out Barcelona. And then I think it's Bayern Munich's time. They look really strong, really solid, really organised, and their manager, Pep Guardiola, really has a point to prove in this competition. They win their German league a canter. They don't have much competition there, so they can afford to rest players in the latter stages, which Real Madrid and Barcelona can't do because they'll still be going at it hammer and tongs in the Spanish league. So I would go with Bayern Munich right now.
All right, and is there any long shots or outsiders that we should consider that I didn't mention in the top 5?
Yeah, certainly. I'd probably rule out Juventus, beaten finalists last season. They've gone downhill this time, and I'd rule out Arsenal and Manchester United, who don't really seem to have the appetite or the ability. You could look to Spain. I mean, you've got Atletico Madrid, who regularly beat the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona in the league, or Sevilla, who have won the Europa League twice running, and they just beat Barcelona in their last game. So those are 2 good long shots. There's also Chelsea to consider. I mean, this is a team that won the Premiership last season in England, and they haven't started well, but the last time they didn't play well in the Premier League, they went on to win the competition, to win the Champions League. Yeah. And this could be a really good sort of long shot to look out for. They've got a great manager in Jose Mourinho, and they've got a side packed full of players that are really proven in the Champions League. So yeah, I'd say maybe Atletico, Sevilla and Chelsea would be my outside.
All right, and you may have answered my my final question here, is to the English team to progress the furthest. Man City and Chelsea, they are the favourites there, priced 2.62 and 2.75 respectively. So would you back Chelsea then?
Perhaps, yeah. Chelsea would be. I'd say it's between Chelsea and Manchester City. Man City are shorter odds to progress. And as I say, I would rule out Arsenal. They've lost their first 2 games, and their next 2 games are against Bayern Munich. So I don't think they're even going to get out of the group stages. Manchester United, I don't really think have the quality in defence to get very far. So I'd say it's between Chelsea and Man City. I'd probably just go for Chelsea because Man City are really going to be trying to go for it in the Premiership in England. And they don't really have much history of doing very well. They're always underachievers in the Champions League. So whereas Chelsea will be freed up because they don't really look like challenging for the league in England, and they might go for a real tilt at the Champions League. So I'd go for Chelsea just ahead of Man City, but both of those look like interesting bets, yeah.
And that's quite a good point there as well, because, you know, if Chelsea are out of the race for the Premier League there, it could mean then that they are focusing sort of all their efforts on winning the Champions League. So 2.75 there, is that a bet that you would make now, or again, are we all waiting for those January transfers and waiting till they get out the group stages?
I'd make it now, yeah. The January won't really probably help them for the Champions League because it will be too late to register players, and I think now's the time really to be backing these players before the likes of Arsenal and Manchester United might go out, which will shorten Chelsea's
Yeah.
odds. So I definitely suggest getting on it now. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Martin, thank you for joining us.